What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for jumping into another video. My name is Josh and I am just your average Joe day trader. Well, it's Wednesday, September 10th, 4:30 p.m. The market's been closed for about 30 minutes now, except for the 24-hour clock that continues to run on many of the stocks that we all love and know. We are officially stock market New York Exchange closed and waiting to see what's going to happen when we get up tomorrow morning at 4:30 and we run into the 9:30 bell tomorrow. All the volatility we've been talking about, September being the month that everybody tries to stay away from. It's the discount month. It's a time to buy everything on clearance, on sale. Not happening right now, although today told us a different story. What's really weird about today is that we had the PPI, the core PPI, which is the producer price index report, come out at 8:30 this morning, and it was good. It was great news. We actually performed and had better results than what was expected. But did it cause the market to go up like we would expect it to? No, it didn't. It caused a lot of the market to run down, including the SPY, including the S&P 500, which if you come right here with me to my chart, you can see that on the 15-minute, I'll show you the 5. You can see that pretty much most of the day was a rundown. Now, we opened up this morning. We were at 654.80 as a high. We opened up, had a little bit of some downward trend, continued back up, didn't get quite as high as it was in the pre-market. 654.45 was the high there. And then it just pretty much spent the rest of the day in a downward trend until the end of the day, which by then it's sort of too late for the day. But it was a low of 650.63, closed at 652.21. It's sitting at 652.16. I'm sorry, 19.15. Look how volatile this is right now. Just sharing with you that the market sort of liked the report and then it didn't like the report. And I can't explain September to you, right? It's been just this crazy, wanky result that's been going on. And a lot of the stocks I love to trade in pretty much spent most of the day in a downward position today, except for a few shining stars. APLD, every day, APLD, Applied Digital, ran this beautiful uptrend, and then it sort of started coming back down towards the end. You can see here on the chart, APLD started about $15.08 in the pre-market, and it literally just ran all the way up to a high of $17.02, closed at $16.98, sitting at $16.89 right now. I mean, an incredible day for Applied Digital APLD. SoundHound, on the other hand, not so much. Had a really hard drop at open with a lot of other stocks. It recovered a little bit, but then it spent, again, most of the day coming down to a low of $13.91, closed at $14.05, sitting at $14.10. Serve Robotics also had some pretty strong volatility and downward momentum today, just like SoundHound. You can see it went up and then it came back down. I'm going to go back to the 15-minute because it's a lot easier to see the charting. But you know, you can see here, not much of an upward run, most of a downward run. And you know, we believe that this is a lot having to do with just the market and September and a lot of sell-off and things that are going on. Wolf had a nice run up today, though. Wolf spent a lot of time in the upward momentum before later in the day. You know, so there's a lot of stocks. BBI did not, and I know some of you are going to comment on that. BBI actually dropped through my floor and continued to a low of 465, and now it's actually using my floor as a basically resistance level to try to break back up through it. So not sure what's going to happen there, but just remember that September is a month that most everything typically runs down. Everything's being sold off. They're selling off for tax purposes. Money is rotating through the markets. There's all the stuff coming through from the Fed. All right. But what we know is that tomorrow, and let's go back to the list of what's happening tomorrow. Tomorrow, 8:30 a.m., we have the consumer price index, the CPI. CPI could cause the market to run up or run down as well. We also have the initial jobless claims, which is happening at 8:30. There's just a lot going on tomorrow that could cause the market to run up or run down. So be super careful. If you're in positions, take a look and understand where you are. I'm in some positions, and I just know that they're going to be down. They're going to run down. They're going to be down. I'm going to be in the red on them. My portfolio is most likely going to be in the red. And then either within the next few days, next few weeks, we come out of into October, it's going to recover. You just can't run and sell and get out out of panic and fear from the market because things come down. This is natural and part of a natural progression of what's going on in the market. So let's look really quick. Let's just look at a couple stocks real quick. In the August best day trade list, Tesla continued to bounce at a 355 level. You can see here that ran down hard in the afternoon, sitting at 348.38 right now. It was all the way up here at 355, but it continued to bang up against this resistance level of 355 and then got rejected and continued back down. So consider what's happening with Tesla. NVIDIA, I got to go back to my auto. NVIDIA had a nice run pre-market and then up, and then it did come down a little bit, but not too bad. Palantir, same idea. AMD, a hard drop, a run up and a hard drop. This looks sort of like SoundHound and Serve Robotics. Robinhood went up, but then came down. HIMS had a hard run up and a hard run down, a lot of further run down than run up. Rocket Labs also, and I actually bought more Rocket Labs on the dip at the low. So I think I've got about, I don't know, I think I'm close to 200 shares maybe now of Rocket Labs, 250 shares, something like that. I just continue to buy in as it gets lower, and I'm very happy about that. SMCI, same thing. So there's really not a whole lot to show, but I will tell you, and a lot of the group were calling out IREN, IREN Limited, ran up really nicely today. And if you played IREN, which I know a few of the individuals in the Discord did, and we're talking about it, it ran up really very nicely. So I'm not going to go through a lot of these. I will tell you that SoFi is back to a point where I'm going to buy into SoFi tomorrow, because this is about where I like it to be. And if it can hold tomorrow morning through the post, through the 24 hour, through the pre, and show me that this is going to stay around the 25 range, which is right now at 25.50, I'll buy back in and ride it back to 26, 26.50. A lot of talk about it going to $30 still, so we'll see what happens. APLD, we've got to understand what's going to happen with APLD because it's at a super high and almost to my ceiling at $17.32. I don't typically like to trade it at the point that it's this high, but if it drops hard in the morning, like it normally does, and we'll already be out of the CPI, reporting at 8:30 in the morning, then there's a chance most likely I'm going to trade APLD tomorrow morning. Run also had a little bit of a nice up. QBTS and QUBT, same thing. Just basically everything somewhat was kind of in the dumps today. Not a lot of positivity that I can give you in a lot of these stocks. But again, please remember it's September. So make sure you're careful. Make sure that you are not trading with money you need to pay your bills, pay your mortgage, pay your house payment, your car payment, rent, insurance, or to buy food to put on the table for yourself or your family. Make sure that you are using your own risk levels and risk, analysis and understanding your risk tolerance, and just be careful, be cautious. And you and I will both get through this to the other end of September into October. And then by then we'll be watching things rise. If you're options traders, I don't do options, right? I've shared with you a million times I do options. I've got some individuals that are going to teach me the options game. I'm excited about that. I've already started some very small basic lessons in it, and I've got my first few options under my belt. I'm going to share with you what they are because a lot of people are talking about them, but I've got a call for January 26th for Lyft at $15. Those calls right now were about between $500 and $600. I think it was $590 per contract. I also got 2 contracts for Intel for also January at the $24 level. So, listen, we're just going to see. They're already green, so pretty happy about that. We'll see how this works and see if it's something I want to kind of continue to play around with. There's a lot of risk in options, and those of you that do options, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I like buying shares because if my share goes in like this QUBT, if I buy this share at $15.41, and it goes down to $15, I got a chance over time to get back to $15.41 or go to $16. If I buy an option call at this value and I pay, let's say, $150 for it, or whatever the cost of the share, the option contract would be, if it expires and I didn't make money on it, guess what? That money is gone. So I don't recommend you do it if you don't know what you're doing. I'm not doing it without having people kind of guide and direct me on it. but I do hope to understand it better and get in the options game a little bit. On the day trade stocks that I know run every day a specific direction. You can buy calls, you can buy puts, and double bang home runs. So we'll see how that works. Aside from that, listen, hope you had a great day. I know it was a rough one today, but I do hope that you in some way found and made some money. I actually had a major home run today. I'm just going to show this one to you. Let's see, it's not QMMM. That was yesterday. The one I got into today, wearable WLDS. So I got into WLDS today. Again, this was a call out. I got into it at $3.22, and this thing ran all the way to $10.87. I bought 500 shares, and I pretty much ran it. And I was somewhat, as when I got to a point where it was over 9 in the $10 range, I sold 250 shares, protected my profits, let the other 250 run. As it continued, I was in the $9 range. When it continued over $10, I sold another 100 or so, 125, and left the other half there. And then the other half started to plummet, and I got out of it, and I made about $1,780, $1,790. And then later in the afternoon, the group called it back out again, said it was on the run again. I jumped back into it with another 500 shares. I put another $150, I think, in the bank. I think in total, I got about $1,950 roughly. I'll throw it up on here on the screen so you can see it. But just an amazing, amazing opportunity, an amazing day. It happened so fast, not one that I could really call out. Hope you all had something successful you can talk about. Drop a comment for me and let me know how you did today. What are you in? Where did you make money? I hope you day traded APLD. I hope you made some money on the other ones that we talk about all the time. But the ones that we were looking at yesterday into this morning, a lot of them really, really went south based on what was happening with the news. So we're going to look and continue to monitor, look at the support and resistance levels, understand where the floor is now on many of them, and see what the candlestick patterns do for the morning when the market opens up at 4:30 and then to the 9:30 bell, and hopefully have an opportunity to make some more money. So that's it. Thank you so much for being here. If you've not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that notification bell, and we will see you tomorrow. Josh out. Peace.